For the longest time, we have been talking to startups, we've been talking to the Indian industry and saying that there is sufficient marketplace here, let's solve the market here. And it is very encouraging to see that the startups are focusing on the market in India, which is considerable, and trying to solve problems which are local and which only we can understand the best. So I saw the 15 of the startup 30, the Tech30 programs which were presented, and quite a few were bang on in terms of where they should be working. So energy is a big area for us in India. We will be adding 350 gigawatts of energy in the next 10 years. And now you know the translation, 350 gigawatts is $350 billion. Right? So that's a lot of money, economic activity. And if we are able to participate it at the highest value level, we would be getting the right kinds of profits. If we are going to be the service providers, we are going to get a totally different levels of profits. We'll still make money, but not the kind of money that we deserve. And we'll still solve the problem, but not at the pace that we can for India. So that's energy, and I saw two programs, at least in the afternoon sessions, which were presented. One was Urjan. They were looking at bringing digital to solar and making the deployment much more comfortable for the users, great area. The other one was water. I think it was Ocean, if I'm recalling the name right. And they presented about using IoT in deploying water as a service. And again, water is not a water problem, it's an energy problem. If you look at it in depth, it's about cleaning the water, it's about bringing the water to the place of use. Today, it's not a water problem. We have enough water if we can transport it to the place of use. So again, a great company. I'm sure it will do well. Then I saw at least 4 or 5 companies in the area of healthcare. So there was the company which did digital pathology, right? It's a great area, it's a pain area. It takes a long time to be diagnosed, even today in this day and age, as to what you're suffering from. Right now, I have a colleague who's been in the hospital for 10 days, and she does not know what she's suffering from. So it's a pain area and needs a solution. The other areas were cancer detection, breast cancer detection. So I was also happy to see that there was product. So there was a thermal imaging product along with the science and imaging techniques behind it. And there was the radiology and the ability to bring digital to radiology. So there were a variety of healthcare programs. And then about half the programs were in the area of digital. And very much it's the right area. Before I go there, healthcare, we spend about 3.5% of GDP. Very soon we'll get to 5%. Just to give you an idea, the global markets in developed economies spend about 10% of the GDP on healthcare. And in the US, it is 18% of GDP on healthcare. So there's a lot of room to grow while our GDP itself is growing. So that's definitely an area of focus. In addition, that we have the unique need to make it accessible. Healthcare has to be accessible. Today it is not, and that's a job we have to do. The digital consumer and B2B area is again extremely interesting, because just in the next 5 to 7 years, we'll be bringing an additional 500 million digital consumer onto the market. So that's an area, again, if you are willing to take the pain of generating global first products and solutions, unique to our markets, maybe deployable globally, we'll be able to take a lead. So the half of the companies which are working in digital, you're doing a great job, so keep it up. Do think about global first products and services. Another thing which I was very happy to hear outside in the corridors is that there was one company which was working in services, and they were lamenting the fact that they were in services whereas everyone else here is in products. Actually, that's something to be happy about. And we discussed the fact that in order to be in services, you better differentiate yourself. Think about blockchain, think about deep learning. Or you make it a productized service, or think about moving into the product area if you want to grow and make significant profits. Or be happy that you're going to be a large volume, low profit player. Nothing wrong with that, but set your aspirations right. So I was extremely thrilled to see the kind of work which is being done by the programs, by the companies here. So give yourself a round of applause, please, if you can. So I just wanted to give you, in the short time that I have, just two things. One is a number and one is a word. So I'll start with the number. The number is 100, right? So, and I'm going to talk about it in Kannada, which is the local language, and that's not my mother tongue, so I'm not biased. It is Nuru, right? So 100, Nuru, however you think about it, think about 100. And the first way I will showcase the power of 100 is talking about a program that we did at the Tata Group Technology Office. So when we started off 3 years ago, we did not have a group technology office. Then and even today, people wonder what a company like or a group like Tata Group can do with a group technology office. So we'll talk about some of that. But basically, I'm a startup. We have far few resources than many of you startups have, both in terms of people and in terms of dollars to start with. But we have an ability to invest significantly once we are successful, just like you would be. And we still need to present and pitch, and maybe not 1,500 pitches. Maybe it is to one person, but maybe I have to do it 1,500 times. Right? So very much in the same boat that you are. In the early days, we are trying to figure out which areas to play in, and we said, it's simple. For the Tata Group, we have to make a difference to our people, and we have to be profitable, because 66% of our profits the Tata Sons make, the income we generate, goes back into charitable contributions through the Tata Trust. There is no company in the world like this. But the starting point is we have to make that income. Right? So we have to be profitable, we have to impact people. That is the ethos of the Tata Group. So we said, we will not take up a program if it is not impacting at least 100 million people, and if it is not producing at least $100 million in profit every year. Right? So that's what the 100 is about. It applies to you. Think about it. If you're a startup, why dream for anything lesser than $100 million in profit? Dreams are free, right? And then you can make it happen. So do not aim for lesser. If you want higher, that's up to you. But think at the basic minimum of $100 million in profit per year if you grow per program area, right? At this point, you can think about it. For your company, $100 million profit per year is enough? Yes? Come on, yes? All right. So, and then impacting 100 million people, I've seen many of you talk about it, and I'm sure you will do it. We have in India 1.35 billion people, and it is possible to get that kind of numbers here. But think about doing it globally as well. So the areas we picked were energy. I told you the story there. It's easy to think about $100 million in profit as well as impacting 100 million people. Second we picked was food and wellness. Again, same story. We talked about digital consumers, and we talked about factories and fleets. Now I'm standing here with this box. What we did was we said we wanted to play in the area of wearables. But wouldn't it be really, really stupid if I went and competed with somebody who has been working on that for 15 years in the commercial space? So what we did eventually after a lot of brainstorming is work on the factory and fleet wearables. So this you can't see from there, but it's a simple watch. It looks very much analog from the front, and it is analog from the front, and it was intentionally done analog in the front so that we do not distract our factory floor workers. But the back end is digital. It's got an IR sensor and a laser sensor to look at skin temperature as well as heart rate through the pulse rate monitoring. And then inside, of course, it has the accelerometer. So we can do many things with this. It's quite simple. It has to connect to the net. We do it through the Tata Connected Universe platform, which is of TCS. If somebody falls, we can detect. There is an accelerometer. If the person is motionless, we can detect. Ambient gases, we can detect through a gateway. Of course, skin temperature we are detecting, and the heart rate we are monitoring. And there are many other things that we are doing with this simple device. And this device is, any one of you could have made it. But what we have the ability to do is deploy it in our factories. We have all kinds of factories. We have factories which make steel. We have factories which assemble cars. We have factories which make chemicals. So the advantage that we are putting to use is the ability to collect the data from our workers. We are first deploying it in Tata Steel, and we will be able to collect data, analyze it, and make it even more powerful than it is today, and then deploy it beyond factories to truckers, to other workers. Just as a factory safety wearable, that market is $30 billion for personal protective equipment. If I take 1/3 of that, $10 billion, if I take 1/10 of that, it's still $1 billion, and 1/10 of that is 100 million. So I can get my 100 million. And there are more than 100 million factory workers around the globe, because we do not want to target India alone. India will be the place where we launch it. No one else has a factory floor worker. Nobody has developed one. And we will, in the meantime, add features and get stronger and stronger by the day with the data that we deploy. So that's one story which I wanted to share. The other one, again, I need you to be interactive, please. I know that it's the end of the day. That's why I'm giving you just one number, 100, and one word, and I have not told you the word yet, right? So if you look at this, what do you think this is? Sorry? I'm sorry, world of opportunity. That is fantastic imagination. It is actually. But anybody else take a guess? A screen, a mat, and so on and so forth. I don't think anybody, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, did you guess that it's actually a solar panel, a fully fledged solar panel? Right? I can fold it like this. And I can, if I'm a beach goer, Shraddha, you can take it, lay it down, and charge your phone if that's what you want. If you want to charge something else also, you can try. Right? But what it is, and why I wanted to show this, is, of course, the leads are not here, it would come out from here, is that there is a lot of material science which goes into it. See, you have Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore. They do such fantastic work. How many of you are willing to leverage their work? Just go figure out for your jobs whether it adds value. This work we have done for past 10 years, Shauvik's organization, Tata Industries. We have done it, we have funded it for 10 years. We have participated in co-developing it. This is in Zurich with the university there, a spin-off company over there. Copper, indium, gallium diselenide. For 10 years, we have figured out, what kind of mix of this will make the best semiconductor. So that's what has allowed us to launch just this year a flexible solar panel, and it is one of its kind in the world. You can imagine the kinds of applications that you can take it to. Automobiles, which are trying to get more and more electric. Blimps, which are looking to survey Bangalore or Zurich or whatever it might be. They can be solar powered. If Google has a drone, which is a fixed wing drone, that will fly forever. It requires solar power. So you can think about these lightweight materials. By the way, it's not quite 100, but 98% thinner and 98% lighter. Right? So this is the kind of technology. Thank you. So this is the kind of technology which all of us should aspire for. And again, I will repeat, in this city, you have Indian Institute of Science, and it was founded by our founder, founder Jamshedji Tata. Just go and visit them. The faculty are now very willing to discuss all the advances that they have made, and really they are second to none. And we are working with them on everything from fuel cells to graphene and so on and so forth in the Indian ecosystem. So just wanted to give you those two stories as to how I think about startups. So one word was 100, and the second, rather that was the number. The word is love. You have to create your companies with love. You have to create your products with love, and you have to showcase your products with love. So those are the two things I wanted you to remember. So what has worked for me is create with freedom, nurture with passion, and change with detachment. You have heard that throughout the day today. You have to create with freedom like a child, but you cannot remain a child forever. You have to nurture with passion, that of a maniac. Only a maniac will sit here and try to sell your products to all the VCs who are telling you that it will not work. And you will do it today, you will do it tomorrow, you will do it day after. And then somebody told it also this morning, that at the peak of your success, you do not have that problem today. But trust me, you will have that problem of being at the top of your success. You have to disrupt yourself, or else somebody else will disrupt you. So create with freedom, nurture with passion, change with detachment, and smash the hand-mind market barrier. Thank you very much.